Right guys, Okazaki here, and today I'm going to be reviewing another two players for you guys. First these being this week's informed Benny McCarthy. On Xbox he's been going for about 20 to 30k, and on the PS3 according to the database about 25k. So a few days ago I decided to build this team around him with the easy 9 chemistry using Serrero at centre forward and an Eredivisie / Pro League hybrid around it, and worked perfectly there. His card stats are really good with his 82 shooting, 79 heading, as well as the 75 in both pace and dribbling. As usual, I'll show you his in-game stats, which should be on your screens now. He has 3-star skills with 4-star weaker foot. In his physical attributes, you can see that he isn't the fastest with a 76 sprint speed, but he does have very good jumping and strength. In the mental attributes, his attacking, positioning and vision are both quite good at 75. And lastly are his skill attributes with his shooting stats such as his 84 finishing and 82 curve, as well as his 93 shot power and 92 volleys. So overall his in-game stats are actually fairly good. The gameplay should be on your screens now, and I did score quite a few goals with him. I think he scored 18 in 9 games online and then a few more against friends. He works perfectly with Serrero, and in my opinion is the perfect player to have up top in a 4-2-3-1 formation. So the first thing I'll talk about is his sprint speed, and although it's only 76 in game, he felt a lot faster. Usually with players like McCarthy, if they went through on goal, they'd usually be caught, but from games online, if he went through on goal, he'd often be able to finish it before a defender got to him. What was also really noticeable was his strength. He does have 80 strength, which is really good for a striker, and I definitely noticed this in game. He was never pushed off the ball by a defender and often won the ball up front, so basically he was just a beast. The next obvious thing to talk about is his shooting. In the first few games I used him in, his shooting was a bit off, but eventually I got more accustomed to using him, and both his power shots and finesse shots were amazing. He didn't score any crazy 40-yard strikes, although he did hit the post a few times, but he was clinical within 25 yards of the goal. I tended to just power most of his shots, as to be honest they nearly always went in, but if I needed to finesse it he'd still score. His heading was also great, as he'd often win headers up top and knock it onto Serrero, which is what you want of a striker. So overall, do I think he's worth the price? For 20 to 30k, in my opinion, he's a bargain. I paid 35k for mine a few days ago, and I pay it again. You can nearly call him the perfect striker. I mean, he may not be the fastest of strikers, but he definitely has the height, the strength, the shooting, the heading, and can also take free kicks. He's also a player which you can build into fairly unique hybrids as well, because he's South African. So if you have the coins to build a team around him, do so and see what you think. So moving on to the next player, and that is Inform Okazaki. As far as I'm aware, he is quite rare, and I don't think there are any other proper reviews of him on YouTube, so I thought I may as well review him. On Xbox, the only ones up on the market are for about 110 to 130k, but I did see one go for like 90k in bidding the other day. As for the PS3, according to the database, he sells for 200k plus, but I have no idea how many are on the market. So it was fairly obvious I'd just stick him into up front in my 4-5-1 Bundesliga Silver squad, and I think he worked really well there. As for his card stats, I'll show you again, and he has 78 pace, 78 shooting, 80 dribbling and 76 heading, so in my opinion is perfectly well rounded. Moving on to his in-game stats, like McCarthy, he has 3-star skills and 4-star weaker foot. All of his physical attributes are very good, with his 88 agility and 85 balance, as well as the 82 acceleration. His mental attributes aren't too bad, with 76 attacking positioning and 71 aggression. And lastly are his skill attributes, where pretty much all of his shooting stats are in the 80s, with 87 finishing, 81 long shots, 88 shot power and 81 volleys. The gameplay should be on your screens now, and I used him for quite a few games, and what a lot of people may want to know is whether he is better than Inform Pukki or the other way around. Really, that is up to you guys to decide yourselves, but I can certainly give you my opinion at the end. So what was noticeable with Inform Okazaki was his dribbling. I used his normal version a few times until I managed to borrow his Inform version, and his dribbling has been given a massive boost, which is really useful, and I noticed this a lot more than I thought, as he skipped around defenders and somehow managed to get shots in. When it comes to his shooting, I have to say it was quality. He did have a rocket of a shot, but what impressed me the most was his finishing. He was able to put away so many shots which I wouldn't have thought would go in. His finesse shots are amazing, but to be honest, I just powered most of his shots. His long shots were also really good. His shooting is definitely not as good as Inform Pukki's, but it's definitely up there with the very best Inform Silvers that I've used this year. In my opinion, he was more of a complete forward than Pukki. Although Pukki has incredible shooting, I take everything else that Okazaki has. His pace was just about right, and although it's under 80, that didn't stop him from getting onto the through balls and finishing them. His acceleration was amazing, and I didn't quite realise how good it was, or how good he was at bursting away from defenders. He was also a lot stronger than his stats suggest. I found that he was often pushing defenders off the ball to get the shot away, and I think the last point is his heading, which was also really good. He often won the headers up top and was able to flick it onto my midfielders. So overall, do I think he's worth it, and who is better, inform Okazaki or inform Pukki? In my opinion, I definitely pay 100k for Okazaki, and who's better? I was pleasantly surprised by Okazaki, so I would have to say, apart from his shooting, he beats Pukki at everything else and is more suited to my team. So thanks for watching, guys, and as usual, if you have any suggestions for players to review next week, just let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Cheers. On the screen now, or what has been on the screen for the last 10 seconds, are two videos you may have missed. The video to the left is the first episode in my new series called Squad v Squad, where I used to score for 5 games and rank them based on their goal difference after those matches. The video to the right is my review of Inform Pukki that I did a while ago. I thought I'd put the link there in case anyone who's watching this hasn't seen the Pukki video, as I mentioned him in this video quite a bit too. If you'd like to watch either of those videos, simply click on them and you'll be taken to the video. Thanks, guys.